Hey guys, so I'm gonna show you this super simple, easy, natural looking look that I did today. Basically this is just my powder foundation routine. So sometimes you want to give your face a semi break with makeup. You still want to look cute, but you don't want to have the coverage, or not the coverage, you don't want to have, like, how do I want to say this? You just want to have something lighter on your face other than a liquid foundation. So the alternative, if you still want to wear makeup, is a powder foundation with just a little bit of concealer. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I do my powder foundation routine. The powder foundations that I like to use are either one of these two. This is the Hello Flawless from Benefit, and I have hazelnut, and it's just a pressed powder, but it allows you to have a light coverage if you use a brush, or if you want like a fuller coverage, it comes with a sponge that you can use where you can kind of press it into your skin to give you that full coverage. Or like the one I used today, which is this MAC, I think it's a MAC Mineralized Foundation. It's a loose powder, and I have the color Dark. This is the one I'm going to show you guys because this is my favorite one. But if you guys want to see how I use this pressed one, let me know and I can totally do that for you guys. If you guys are curious about my head wrap, I do have a video showing you guys how I wrap my hair up. In that video I'm just showing you how I do it when I have my hair in flat twists. So it's kind of like protective styling when you don't feel like taking your twist out yet. And if you want to know how I do my twist outs, I have a video as well that I'll link below of how I do my twist out to get like a fluffy, soft, voluminous twist out. I already have my lashes and my brows done, so now I'm going to prime my skin. Okay, I'm going to use the Too Faced Hangover, and I'm going to mix a little bit of this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Topaz. I'm going to kind of mix those two together just to give my skin some moisture and a little bit of like a glowy, bronzy effect. And before I do that, I'm going to prime my face with the Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray for oil control. Ooh, I got it in my eyes. I've mentioned this before in my, I think it was a best primers for like oily skin video, so I'll link that below because it is currently one of my favorite primers. I'm just gonna rub this all over my face. Okay, so my face is primed. Now, while I let this kind of like soak into my skin, I'm going to prime, or kind of like color correct / prime under my eyes. And I feel the need to kind of like point out everything that I'm using, but basically I'll make sure to link everything in the bar below, because I tend to forget steps when I try to show you guys every little thing that I'm doing. So the next thing I'm going to do is color correct my face, and I'm going to use this Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Palette. Oh, I said I wasn't going to mention everything, but it's like a habit to want to mention everything. But basically I'm just going to use this orange color and just kind of put it on areas that I feel need a little bit of color correcting. I don't want to do too much color correcting because I'm not using a liquid foundation. And I feel like it's a little harder to cover up all the color correcting when you're using a powder. So I just really want to get those areas that need the most color correcting. And I'm really going to try to kind of press it into my skin so that it's not too bright. Next thing I'm going to do is go over all these color correcting spots with a concealer that is my complexion. So I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, if I wanted to use this Becca Ultimate Coverage Concealing one or the NARS. I think I'm going to use the NARS because it's just easier. And I'm just going to go over any areas that I want to cover. And keep in mind, like, if you guys have been watching my makeup videos, you know that I don't really go for complete coverage. So my goal here is not to make my skin look completely flawless, although it would be nice to have flawless skin. I don't want to look too flawless because I do have marks and I don't want those marks to show, but I also don't want my face to look like painted on and caked on and too perfect. You know what I mean? I want it to still look like skin. So I'm just going to lightly cover my skin up where I can. Okay, next, because I'm doing powder foundation, I'm gonna do my concealing next, and I think today I'm gonna use, oops, the sticker, the color sticker came off, and I don't want that to come off because then I won't know what color I have. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use my Naked Skin today. I'm gonna put this everywhere that I want to highlight. And also, you want to keep in mind when you are doing powder foundation that the concealing that you do, you don't want to go overboard, because the purpose, at least for me, the purpose of the powder foundation is to have like a lighter day of makeup. So you want to keep it light, and then remember you're going to conceal, so that's going to be extra makeup on your face as well. So just a little side note. I'm just going to wet my brush with this spray from Smashbox. And I'm gonna have my little beauty blender ready to dip it into my banana powder, because I'm gonna do one eye at a time. But first I'm gonna do these areas. I'm looking in a mirror in front of me. If you guys are wondering like where I'm looking, I have a mirror in front of me because the camera's too far for me to really be able to see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to go in to the eye area and just pat that on. Then I'm going to go in with my banana powder just to kind of set it off. So you want to make sure that it's thoroughly pressed in and as minimal lines as possible before you decide to set it, because once you set it, it's a wrap. It's locked in and there's no going back. I'm also going to put a little bit on my eyelids with the brush. And then go back and make sure that it's all pressed in. Like, that's a big part of every makeup routine that I do, is to go back in with a sponge just to make sure that my makeup is like properly pressed into the skin and blended in. Okay, so now that I have all the highlighted areas of my face set, I'm going to go in with my powder foundations, and the one I'm going to use is the MAC Mineralized foundation, and that's in dark. So I really like to use this one because it's light, it's easy, it gives you like a nice glow. For me, it gives enough coverage because this is really just kind of setting it and giving it like a light layer of coverage. So I really love it, and I'm just going to put a little bit into, ooh, that's a lot. I'm just going to put about this much into the cover. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush. This is the powder brush from Real Techniques. And basically, I just kind of like to cover the top of it, kind of like dip it in there, and then dust it off. And then I'm just going to kind of go in and press it onto my skin. So I'm really not even using a lot. I'm just making sure to cover, you know, most of the brush. And just pat it in my skin. Ooh, it's like some fuzz on my lip. Yeah, I'm just gonna press it in there. And it may not seem like it's doing a lot. But that's the whole point. It's like a light coverage. You don't want anything heavy. You just kind of want to let your skin breathe. I probably could have put more coverage on my cheeks. So this is what we're gonna do, because I normally don't cover with the NARS one like a whole area, but I thought I was gonna try it today. But because that didn't work, we're gonna go back in with the Becca concealer, which does cover a little bit more. And I know we already put powder on our skin, but it's actually gonna be fun. I think it'll just make it set better. Normally I would use this one or my NARS in I think caramel. But you know, I'm always trying to do something different when I'm filming, which I always regret doing because then you have a fail while filming, but it's okay. Because you guys can see what really happens if I was just sitting here doing my makeup and thought I would try something different and it didn't work. This is how I have to improvise, so I think it's good. Okay, yeah, so I think that gave me a little bit more coverage that I prefer. I'm just gonna pat that all in with my sponge. And then I'm gonna go back in and just lightly set it again, since I put more concealer on there. As you can see, it's super easy, super simple. I mean, if your skin is like totally clear, this will be perfect. If it's not totally clear, then just, you know, like I had to do, make sure you have a really good concealer that you want to use to cover. And if you want to put this over foundation for extra coverage, you could too. I've personally never done that, but you can do that if you want. So next I'm just going to bronze, highlight, and put blush on my face and my lips, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to use this Givenchy bronzer, and my baby hair is already laid, which I should have done after I did my makeup, but I had to go somewhere earlier, so I wanted to make sure those baby hairs were already done. Because if you do it before, then you're kind of just gonna probably mess them up, but it's fine. I can just add a little more gel to them. Always make sure you get your ears and your neck. I'm going to just contour my nose a little bit with this. And like I said, I'll leave all the information listed below on the products that I used. I'm going to go in and contour my eyes. And if I'm not talking, you know, you can see that this is not a very lengthy routine. Like pretty much it's all the steps that I would normally do with like a liquid foundation, except I'm just doing powder foundation, which is a little bit, well, I don't know, you could say it's quicker. But it's just good on those lighter days. You can still, you know, look really polished and finished and have it look really nice without having to have like a heavier coverage of a liquid. Because sometimes you just need to let your face breathe, but you still want to wear makeup. So a powder foundation is like a really good balance of having like, you know, still looking nice and put together, but not having like full coverage on your face. Okay, next I'm gonna do blush. And it's funny because I don't even know if my blush even ever shows up on camera because I do such a light amount. But that's just what I like. I just have a thing about heavy makeup. I just don't like heavy makeup. And see, it looks like, for me, I feel like it looks like a lot of blush. So I'm going to kind of buff this out with a clean brush. And I think I actually want to put a little bit of this on my eyes. Sometimes I like to use my blush. I'm going to use this brush. Sometimes I like to use my blush on my lids as well. It just gives it like a nice, pretty matchy glow. It's nothing too dramatic, but it just gives it something like, just very subtle. You probably can't even see that. Next I'm going to highlight. First I'm going to highlight my nose. This has become my favorite highlighter brush. This is the Sigma Spotlight Duster F37, and I just love the shape of it. It's so like soft and just, I feel like it's perfect for highlighting. I kind of really want to have that glow. So I'm going to do a little extra with the highlighting. I'm also going to put some on my brow bone. In the crease. Not the crease. What is this? This little area. It's not a crease. Whatever the, I forget what that's called. This area right here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This area right here. I'm going to put a little bit there. And then I also, even though I put the blush on my lids, I always like to put a little bit on my lids too, just to make it have an extra glow. I'm just all about being glowy, if you can't tell. So that is that. I'm gonna go back in with this sponge just to make sure that everything is like properly pushed into my skin and blended in together. Okay, so now that everything is blended in, I'm just gonna go in and do my lips, which I'm gonna keep it super simple. I'm just gonna use this Black Up Nude gloss in number 5. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. I have it down here. It's a very nude color. Obviously, it's supposed to match. It's supposed to match the nude lips of women of color, which is pretty cool. The last thing I'm gonna do is just spray my face, just to make sure that all the powder products are just like blended in and just kind of blend it in. So just let that dry. That didn't taste so good. Let that dry, and that's pretty much the finished look. I mean, as you can see, it's super simple, super easy. It would have gone even quicker if I wasn't like talking and trying to let you guys know everything I was doing. But like I said, I will leave links for all the products that I use down below. For my top, if I can still find it, this head wrap I just got in Target. It's just like a basic infinity scarf. My nails, I'll leave all that stuff down below. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this super simple powder foundation routine. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you know when I post new videos. I pretty much post videos every week. So yeah, make sure that you keep coming back. If you've missed a few videos, make sure you catch up. Hopefully you guys are enjoying my videos. And yeah, follow me on all my loves too on Instagram and on Snapchat. And I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Bye.